Hello and welcome to Titles and Troubles. Oh fuck, which episode are we on? 12? Episode 12, I'm going with 12. You're not allowed to talk, guys, you can't answer. Welcome to episode 12, Titles and Troubles, the high level Dungeons and Dragons game. These guys are level 12. I don't know what the characters are, but they themselves are level 12, which is pretty impressive, I think. And in today's session, I am joined as usual by Josh.
Hello.
Who plays
I think it's
Ox.
episode 11.
Yeah,
Ox.
episode 11, episode 11, episode 10, episode 11. It's an episode. And also by Ben, who plays Diego. Who's taken a vow of silence, which is going to be slightly awkward when I ask him what he does in that combat round to avoid death. And also joined by... Oh, he stabs. Joined by Martin, who plays Darian.
Hello, and you gotta remember we're also joined by the man who needs no introduction because he never gives himself one.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, what about it?
Yeah.
You got issues with that, have you? Okay.
And his name is Paul.
It says so below my screen, as it happens below my face. It says Paul in little letters. In fact, my nose is just ducking there. Anyway, right, okay, yeah, so, hello and welcome. Last episode on what I'm now going to call the slow descent to evil, where we have answered the question of does power corrupt, and we've moved on to the questions of yes, but precisely at what rate and by what factor, because essentially all of our player characters have started some form of descent into the darkness of the night. And then they woke up next morning, it was all fine. So there we go.
It's more of the darkness of the dark blades, oh thank you.
Well, I don't know. I think there's some serious Order of the Gauntlet darkness being chucked around. But we'll come on to that in a little while. So what happened last episode? We had a little bit of a strange episode in that we did kind of three separate stories where Darian went out to try to meet with the Queen of the Masquerade. It didn't go as he thought. It was a bit strange. I think he found it. Though she is a enigmatic fey being. But once you gaze into the abyss knows your phone number, postcode, maiden name, and all the kind of things like that. I hope you got those passwords encrypted at rest. That's all I'm saying. Also, Darian kind of uses contacts in the Harpers to find out that there is a Bainite presence within the county of Sekazar, located in a noble's kind of like country manor, though it's unknown as to whether the noble is in on the Bainites or not. I think we might be getting disrupted.
Yeah.
I heard that, yeah.
Given the sound in the background. We'll see. Ox... Oh no, wait. No, okay. I can't actually remember what Ox did. Remember what Ox did?
He got cupboards.
Come on.
Yeah. Ox went to the Blue Dragon Lenathon in Kalimsham. Ox invaded Kalimsham on behalf of Tethia, and then allied himself with a dragon, a powerful dragon there. And in exchange for a number, a certain amount of sapphires, he has brought humanoids back. So he's kidnapped Kalimshite citizens and forced them into his service in exchange for money to their slave lord, is how I'm choosing to interpret that. And then he's dispatched those as spies out throughout the county. I mean, what could possibly go wrong there, Ox? But we did meet two key NPCs. What are their names again, Ox?
Blarian and Blaego.
the blue dragonborn who were heckling at the back, as I recall. But what that has given Ox is a kind of underground spy network, though there aren't very many monsters in Tethia at all. So if the dragonborn are found to be transporting, well, okay, I guess that's my door opening. If the dragon, oh my god, oh, Parker Penguin, what are you doing here? if the Dragonborn are found transporting
Penguins.
penguins into Tethia, then I think there could be trouble. Just
They're
from
just
Dad's-
miniature Dragonborn, really, for all people know.
Yeah,
I want those penguins out of my county.
They're like halflings.
that's
You're like,
exactly
you don't know.
Actually, they're like giants because this is a penguin and this is a dragonborn. So read into that kind of what you will, I guess. Like Parker, you can go over there.
Martin keeps freezing.
Do
Got his
I?
back. Yeah.
And Diego Darkblade found out that his wife is pregnant with twins. That his dad is knocking off Milady de Winter, or being knocked off. Nobody's quite sure. The servants won't talk. And that she
There's no
has...
servant left.
Well, none loyal to Danilo. And it feels like Milady de Winter got one over on Danilo a little bit. And as Diego buried his dear mama and entered into arguments with the other Lords Alliance members who have decided to reconvene later on in the summer. Anyway, since then, some stuff has happened. Kind of Diego's returned back to the kind of county. Yeah, and kind of one of his first actions was to make a public declaration on behalf of his companion Darian. Is Darian with us?
He keeps freezing.
I'm going to assume that Darian isn't with us.
Oh.
But Diego Darkblade has declared that
I tried to be as precise as possible when writing this.
any necromantic items that were brought across the border of Circus are considered illegal. Those smuggling such illicit objects are to be prosecuted, tried, and if found guilty beyond all reasonable doubt, which is quite a hefty burden of proof, but is not unreasonable for a criminal court, imprisoned indefinitely at the county's cost, I suspect, or until such a time as they have been deemed to have served their penance, which is a little bit different from Darian's request. Let's just kind of have a little read of Darian's request.
Kill them all.
Darian's request. This is a paladin of Torm, by the way, lawful good. Let's just bring that. He wanted to declare a state of emergency, but Her Majesty Queen Aeneas said, "Fuck you, motherfucker." That's not the way we do things around here. We lost mine. And he said, all those found to be smuggling undead. You see, this is it. It doesn't want to be held to a public account. It's kind of like, welcome back. Doesn't want to be held to public account, so he just bailed before the vote got announced. A great evidence of an undead invasion. All those found to be smuggling undead or necromantic artifacts into Tethia, regardless of their knowledge of the cargo, shall have their head struck from their shoulders, not killed, with their head struck from their shoulders. Let's be very clear here. So if you're able to survive without a head, you're fine. So I think it's discriminatory on that basis.
So back on and off you go.
And as many of their elks as many of their ilk, they threaten the men, women, and children of the realm, which is kind of clearly discriminatory against other genders. And at this time, we will make it clear to all that undead have been smuggled into Tethia and buried all throughout the kingdom, because we don't want a mass panic on our hands. And we would warn smugglers to not move anything across the border without knowing what the cargo is, if they value their lives, as doing so makes you no better than those that threaten Tethia. Interesting.
As I mentioned, when I was asked to clarify on necromantic objects, I was like, just scrap that part.
Yep, okay. And the Order of Gauntlet troops have been deployed outside of their formal jurisdiction to kind of the north, the foothills of the Omladrin Mountains, where the more recent attacks from Commander Breakbones occurred. They're more skirmish attacks than they are kind of like brigand armies hanging around. Now let's have a little look. See. Yeah. Okay. Ox, you have been earning coin by using your kind of Dragon Ball men as caravan guards. Quite happy to do that. And then you've set up a chain of command that needs a little bit of fleshing out, but essentially so that not all Dragonborn things need to come through Ox. Okay. Have we lost Martin again?
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly again. Doesn't want to be held to. Oh no, backish maybe. Who knows?
Start print screening each face.
Yeah.
Freezes.
Oh, he's moving.
You know,
What? That Wi-Fi in Scotland.
I know. Well, it's got to come. I mean, we've probably put border checks on it to make sure there's no plotting underway.
Yeah.
Like the gunpowder plot and stuff.
Well, Darren's built a wall.
It could be, and he's going to make the Bay Knights pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's us back to 3. Oh, okay. So we will now start the session properly, and the scene is in the capital of Seradouche, and it is a dark because it's night, and it's dark because Danilo is in the room. He sits
None of us
across.
have dark vision.
because we're all edgy. That's why it's dark.
He sits across a table from Diego. Between them, there's more flagons of wine than is ideal, but not. It's not Valentine's night. Let's just be clear here. This is not anything like that. Tef has just been a pain in the arse. Oh wow! I know I am.
Awesome.
I mean, no, cheers. Is that what you showed Danilo? Is that we've got straight to character? Fair enough. He reaches over and places his hand tenderly on yours, and then rips it from the socket and smashes it down your throat. And says, "Any nephew of mine." Tef's just been a bit of a pain in the arse. The pregnancy has been advanced and no massive complications, but she's just like not very good at being pregnant, it seems. So it's like nagging and just getting on your case and being in your face, and nothing you can do can be quite right. And kind of like she says she understands you're sad and upset because of your mum, but she's not behaving in that way. And she absolutely, definitely thinks she's the most important thing in the history of time. And she has been sniping at Danilo, even though she said she was going to kind of stop. So you kind of strike it down to being a weird tiger that's preggers. And stuff, but and she's tired, and she's kind of twins, so it's hard. The topic of discussion has been the destruction of Milady de Winter. And by destruction, Danilo really does mean kind of like killer, burn her ashes, destruction. He says, "I do not think. Our problem is that we need to separate her from your idiot of a father. If she is there with him, she will be able to manipulate him, and she will be able to declare. She'll be able to force him to declare an heir to the Darkblade name, and she may even bear children to him. So as I see it, there's a few options. We can kill Milady de Winter. I suspect that will be difficult. Perhaps not impossible. But it would take resources and time. An easier option would be to kill your father."
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for that.
Why not just kidnap him and bring him back here?
Because we want to fucking kill him. What kind of bullshit is this? Ox, what the fuck are you doing in this secret council?
How about we just give him an intervention? We take him, we kidnap him, we bring him here, we give him an intervention.
I do not want him here. It would complicate matters further.
Well,
But
I never said let him out the shed.
there's a complication there in that it's not entirely clear what would happen. The most likely course is that you would have to go back to Waterdeep and adopt the nobility there, and I am too far advanced in this game for that to be an option to us. We insist that she comes to Thea, and we place her in this court or the Queen's court, but not representing Hugh as you suggested. That would be far too dangerous for us. But if she is here, then we can at least know what her ploys are and make it harder for her.
Keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
Can't I just hit her with my axe?
Or
Do us all a favour.
Doxed. Quiet, my dragonborn servant.
perhaps in addition to
having her
those,
either here or within the Queen's court, given her abilities to manipulate and charm.
or the other option, perhaps again in combination, is that we ensure that she is so tied up by other members of the Lord's Alliance that she is not able to advance her plans against us. The mood in that meeting room was not entirely with her. I think that there was a great degree of frustration that she is playing family politic with the Alliance. If we are able to marshal ourselves, it may be that we can wrap her up in distractions by proxy of other members.
And you know of such a member?
There are always many ways. It will cost, I'm certain, but the cost is worth it. I have a goal that I will not have disrupted.
Which is Uncle.
Oh.
My own, and not yours to know yet, nephew. You play your part and play your part well, and when it is time, you'll be told your role. And he stands and he radiates authority and power. You've seen this kind of effect from him before, so you're kind of almost ready for it, and you kind of, you can see a little bit about it. As he kind of walks across to the window.
You want me to do that save again?
No, he's not particularly trying to kind of impose upon you. It's just the natural radiation of his presence, and he kind of wanders across to the window. And as the light of saloon kind of like comes through, you catch kind of like a silhouette or a silvery umbra of a kind of
So you caught out there.
you catch a silhouette or kind of like a silvery kind of like shadow or umbra kind of like around him, and he stands much taller than he does physically, and he's kind of like got wings, kind of like dark wings, kind of in his silhouette behind him, and he turns to you and he looks just as he does normally. And it's kind of like lifeless, calculating, vicious eyes that he possesses. The final option, perhaps, Diego, is to go into the Feywild where her mistress resides and from which she gets all of her power, and get that little bitch's neck and wring the very life out of the Queen of the Masquerade. And then we will tear her apart, and we will spread her throughout the multiverse so that every living and unliving creature knows you do not fuck with me and you do not fuck with the Darkblades. And that
But
is my preference.
we know what his task now is.
Yeah.
Because nobody, no entity has the right to raise their forces against my goal. And a servant comes in, opens the door, and immediately drops what they're carrying and runs. Just legs it out.
Severing her tie to the Queen of the Masquerade was certainly a first thought, Uncle, but
Yeah, we'd figured that out, hadn't we?
I do not mean severing a tie. I mean annihilating, removing, destroying, grinding into the dust.
Uncle, are you ill?
I am too close. This has been too long a game. Think on those options, nephew. So how are the unborns? And he takes a glass. How's Tef doing?
Oh, she's moody.
Yes,
Will not give me a break.
It's a brave man that entangles himself with her. I've been staying in the East Wing on purpose. And I've noticed there's a lot more redcap mushrooms than normal. Any reason for that?
The Queen.
Oh, are you going to tell him?
Well, funny though, we saw a similar thing in the Feywild.
Yeah.
Feywild.
Yeah, I've been there.
Have we not told him we've been to the Feywild?
You're keeping things from me, nephew.
Hardly, Uncle. You knew of the disappearance of the Queen's crown jewels.
Yes. They're not the first set of crown jewels to leave Tessia.
Oh,
The original set, well, maybe not original, but the set that Queen Zaranda Star and her husband, consort King Hadric had, they were taken as well.
by Omladrin by any chance?
It's unknown, lost in the mists of time.
Well, these ones almost got lost in the Feywild.
Well, let us just ensure that nobody's foolish enough to try to contact the Queen of the Masquerade, because they would demonstrate themselves to be a traitor to our cause and would also have to be annihilated. I mean, if anybody was foolish enough to do that, I'm sure that I would know by now. What's that? What's that?
Can we all slowly look at Darian?
Hi. What? Darian? It did. Oh. But the night draws on, and I have.
Surprises me, Uncle, that you weren't already aware.
The night draws on, and I have an early morning.
And that's his way of saying, fucking toe rag.
He drinks his glass of wine and leaves.
I was in 10.
Darian is super keen to go and convince Diego ASAP about the law.
Danilo,
All of the law.
Danilo leaves and Darian comes in through a different door.
Diego, I contacted the Queen of the Masquerade.
She says she's our ally now.
No, I want to know to just like walk backwards into the door, like just sort of like, what?
Danilo shape changes from his kind of like polymorph door shape, and
Yes. So am I actually there, like right after he's left? Then.
Yeah, you could kind of like come in.
Yeah, sure.
You would have been in there a bit earlier, but you had to kind of like stumble past a servant who was racing the other way.
Oh, I need to...
Ashen face. When Danilo comes, when Darian, everybody's called us. Can we drop the letter D? When Darian comes in, the mood darkens somewhat because he's slightly more lawful evil than Danilo is.
Yeah, mine actually begins with D as well, if it's not short. And slot. I didn't realise that. Oh, God.
This episode brought to you by the letter D and the intent to murder.
Death.
Yeah.
There's your title. There's your episode title.
D for death.
So Darian comes in and goes, Diego, what did you do to that servant?
Oh, don't look at me. Look at my uncle. Fuck.
Everybody goes, oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Explains it then.
That makes a lot
Almost
of
as
sense.
if he's got some sort of aura around him.
I'm
Yeah,
not. You can guess away, boys. You can guess away. The video's
I assumed
recorded.
was that meeting just between Diego and Darren? I assumed we were all there.
That meeting was between Diego and Danilo.
Right.
That's why when you were talking, I was ignoring you.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
And that's why I called you Docs. Quiet.
And Diego's like,
So
Who's the
Darren
masquerade?
comes over.
what is it?
So he comes over and he's clenching a mask in his gauntleted fist and goes, I contacted the Queen of the Masquerade while you were away.
I take the mask on my... I've seen this. I've seen one of these before.
Smells of cooked
It's
grass.
the one we got in the Feywild. It's the one we got in the Feywild, remember?
You got it to work?
You hear about 15 alarms just going off over in the East Wing. You know, it's 13 at most.
I didn't expect to be able to contact the Queen, and not the most unreasonable person. She
Maybe
didn't
we should
attack
form a
me.
pact with her.
There was no psychic assault, and she just wanted to trade some things for support. I didn't take her up on any of the offers, but
You're
I feel
thinking
like-
about it.
How do you know there was no
I feel
psychic
like-
assault?
I feel like, yeah, I've been brainwashed.
You just failed.
That's why I'm evil. You've
Yeah.
just spoiled the whole plot twist now.
yeah.
God.
I'm not there. I'm just subconscious.
So I think we've just had Martin admit Darian's turn to the evil, and therefore
Yes.
everybody gets a
All the
100
evil.
point
100-point
achievement. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, just explain that. But I don't think continuing any contact with her will be good. So I just wanted to give the mask to you. I wanted to speak to your uncle, actually. She was talking about the light in my eyes as well, and if I'm not mistaken, he's got a certain...
Je ne sais.
Like, gesture at my... I like...
Yeah, nobody wants to say it.
I don't want to say anything negative about the guy, but like...
Well, you've only just missed him.
I'm sure we'll cross paths in the future.
Danilo rolled a natural 20. He didn't just miss Darren.
Another thing. The law. Yes. Why are you taking prisoners?
Because I cannot condone innocent if not what was the word? Oh, damn.
Darren, you notice for the first time there's about half a gallon of wine, or space where half a gallon of wine should be in bottles. This may explain why Diego is searching for words.
Yeah.
Diego, I've rescinded the section regarding the necromantic material. It's just corpses. How inept a smuggler does one have to be to not realize you're traipsing corpses into Tethir?
Well, I would suggest that the best thing to do would be to question them heavily, find out what and if we deem it unsatisfactory, then burn the bodies and imprison the perps until
Diego,
let them rot.
it needs to be far more severe. First of all, we will question them under the zone of truth, but it needs to be more severe. The people will cross the border if they don't fear death. The amount.
And what if it's an innocent farmer, Darian? What if it's a man just trying to earn some bread to put the dinner on the table?
How will he not realize there's corpses in his chariot?
Medical science. What happens if it's
And I don't mean to be so forceful, but any more undead get buried in Tethir, more people are gonna die. You've lost your mother recently. This could be someone else's mother or someone else's child that die because more undead were buried in Tethir. And this is just... I have to fight Bane.
Then maybe take the fight to Bane. I'm not having innocent
You should
men.
say that.
I'm not having potentially innocent men put to death for doing a job that they did not know the meaning or the intent of.
But Diego, how can a farmer not realize he's... Where would you even hide a corpse? On a farm cart?
Well, they should be easier to find then.
But that's the thing. Then they should know that it's there. The only way you could hide something that large would be in hidden compartments like I've been finding.
You're able to locate undead, aren't you, Darian?
Not at a very distant range.
The law that I put in place was not there previously. I will not push it so far as to murder potentially innocent people if they are smuggling necromantic bodies that we deem to be used for necromancy. Well,
I've rescinded that part. That I realised when I was questioned by Praxin that you could easily just plant those gems on someone, but it's too hard to plant a corpse on someone, Diego.
It would be quite a sleight of hand check, in fairness. DC 25, maybe.
do it.
Yeah, it would be very easy to incriminate someone with necromantic artifacts. That's why I've rescinded that. Out of interest, so I'm just going to ask this out of character. What was the previous penalty for smuggling stuff?
Ordinarily goods confiscated, fine, ejected out of the country. Varies, depends upon kind of the goods that you're smuggling and the frequency with which you're kind of caught and stuff. It incarceration is unusual because it means the state has to continue to pay. Tethy's a reasonably kind of developed legal system, so you wouldn't have masses of corporal punishments either. You would confiscate the goods, pay a fine, or at least sell the goods to do that, and then eject whomever was caught smuggling. But it's usually goods that are trying to avoid tariffs, not goods that are weapons, really. Or,
Yeah, they can murder people.
So, bringing in oysters from the Lake of Steam, so you don't pay the tax on them and therefore get more profit when you sell them at their target market is one thing. Smuggling a load of zombies that, in theory, you assume they're going to be raised to fight against the people of Tethia is a different thing. However, let's recall the fact that the smugglers, even under a zone of truth, are not aware of what goods they were carrying.
Yes, but they're smugglers, so they should
No,
know,
I'm not getting engaged in a discussion. I'm pointing that fact out of character for you guys, so that it's not misconstrued. They, in good faith, were unaware of what they were bringing in. Though I get what you're trying to do, mine.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's a scare tactic more than a. Yeah. So it's a scare tactic to make sure that they know.
Yeah, you want to force people to stop at the border and go, right, just in case. We know we're not carrying any undead, but just in case we are.
Exactly. So they check for hidden compartments themselves and stuff, so that they're yeah.
But so that's out of character. It's you guys to then decide how your personalities and your personas want to work on this. Praxton's advice.
I will relay that as well.
Praxton's advice, by the way, Diego, is that yours is the more in keeping with the typical spirit of the Therian laws, and he's concerned that pushing too hard would have it would be considered to be quite a little bit too harsh, a little bit. There's no redemption allowed if you're dead.
There's an afterlife, though. It's been proved.
Then it doesn't matter then, does it, guys? Follow your swords.
Kill us all now, then.
That means the winds are just going to be waiting for you in the afterlife.
Yeah.
You need a plan. So it's easy now. Just sign on the dotted line, Diego, and plant a corpse on Lady de Winter, and we're good.
The biggest problem there is the closest corpse would be your dad. You don't know what her views on patricidal necrophilia are.
Yeah, we'll leave it there, and Diego can do as he. But I'm not going to accept any prisoners at the castle.
You'll have to deal with Ox.
You got no jurisdiction in the order.
Praxton will remind you that the order only has jurisdiction because the Vindicator is considered the steward of Ulcazar, and that's a position appointed by the Count.
Shit!
No, he'll only remind Diego of that fact for the person to whom he is the legal counsel.
And yes, and the Dragonborn are escorting a lot of these trade caravans coming in and out.
Yeah, but not smugglers.
Not smugglers, but we're on the road.
We're on the road again.
Yeah. So if we just see down at the edge of the road just lopping people's heads off, we'll be like, what's going on here?
You're fired. You're fired. You're all right. You're fired. You're fired.
Before Darren leaves,
Darren just got dismissed, by the way. Let's call it what it is.
Oh no, I still had to talk about the Baynites.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about that first then.
I've actually heard that there might be Baynite activity inside a noble's household. Not their main household. I'm led to believe it's a summer home. but I've been told that there is a shrine there, and it's something we should investigate.
If they are Banites, kill them.
Now,
But now it's suddenly
No, it's okay.
They're innocent people. Nah.
So if those smugglers are Bayanite and they're smuggling Bayanite zombies in, do we get to kill everything?
Yeah.
Get killed twice.
But if it turns out they are, as I said before, like just innocent men trying to earn a buck to put food on the family's table.
I mean, is criminal innocent though if you're still smuggling?
Smuggling's against the law.
Smuggling's against the law, but I'm not having them put to the axe.
Yeah, I mean, so is aggressively planting red mushroom fields within order of the Gauntlet grounds. But nobody's killing those.
Oh my god, someone's smuggling in mushrooms.
They're growing them on decomposing undead. Do you know what? That is a fucking good idea. Let me just take a note of it.
Now they've got mounted cavalry. It's red caps on top of zombies.
Oh, God.
Red caps riding zombies.
Yeah. So that happens, and yes, let's probably get on with the session. Unless you want to say anything else.
We are getting on with the session. This is part of the session.
Oh.
And lastly, I've done my bit within
We're getting disturbed soon.
as much as my conscience will allow me to. You have your job to do. Let's get the Banites.
Next session, because this session we agreed we were going to go to the Omladrin Mountains.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, next session, there'll be Bayanites. Those Bayanites may or may not have zombies covered in mushrooms. Who knows?
Whoa. You're a bit presumptuous thinking we're going to survive this session.
Mm-hmm.
Next session, any survivors will be going against the Bayanites. Those Bayanites may have zombies that look like some of the dead PCs covered in mushrooms. Okay. So one of the other things that Danilo kind of talked about before he got a bit intense, before he dialed it up to about a 7 for him, it was the location where he recovered the Omladrin gems 15, 20 years ago when he was in Tethia, and took them back and essentially re-established the Darkblade fortunes. And he is able to give you general indication of whereabouts in the Omladrin Mountains that mine was, or that kind of place where the mine was. But you also know that area's now got ogres in, and ogres riding wyverns. That's what Rhaegar, Ox's brother, kind of like briefed you guys on. And the Omladrin Mountains aren't some kind of huge towering peaks. They're not the Alps. They're not like Middle Earth, New Zealand mountains. They're more like the Lake District. So 3,000, maybe topping out 3,500 feet in height. Substantial size. So quite a big range. Lots of valleys. Lots of kind of sometimes difficult to cross peaks and such like. But it's not kind of snow capped, except perhaps in bad winters. Okay. So you gather Darian and Ox together, and the decision is to kind of head up there on the Oxmobile, on the flying carpet. So who is going with?
Well, don't Darian's men take up most of the carpet?
No, because they're not all coming. It's just Killeen that's absolutely both-bound.
We can fit 6.
You can fit 6,
only
but you
find it
can't
if there's 4 of us,
fight.
though.
Yeah, because you kind of like really cram. It's what? It's
I'm
not.
happy at just being 4 of us.
Should we just take 4 of us? Take Killeen?
Jesus, I've got to get up a stat block time. I know he's a knight with decent health and has a weird combat style.
Yep. Okay.
Not light.
And what stuff do you want to take with you? You can have access to any mundane equipment that you can kind of like carry. You can have access to some consumables, so potions of healing.
Should we take a few of them?
Stuff like that.
It's a good thing I've got night vision goggles.
Crap.
Yeah, but you've got a glowy axe, and I can make my sword glowy if I really need to.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the rogue then.
Where's my DMG? How is that?
How many potions should we take?
How much is that? 2?
So you could get your hands on potions of greater healing, which are 4d4 plus 4, and you'd be able to get 2 of those each, and pretty much unlimited potions of healing. You're constrained by how many you want to carry, more than anything else.
I think we've lost Martin again.
Yeah, I think so too.
I know you're back.
Well, your sound is.
Briefly. I mean, what do you think we need to take with us?
Before we go, would it be possible to check the laws with Apraxin regarding the rule of finders keepers?
What do you mean by the rule of finders keepers? What if you get treasure there?
Yeah.
Okay, so Apraxin will tell you that. Let me think. What would it be?
I need that mine.
Well, as Count, you could claim it anyway. You would have to recompense any owners of it. He doesn't think it's essentially considered a wilderness out there, so he doesn't think that it would be owned land, so to speak. Yeah, we lost mine. So he feels that he feels that you'll be entitled to claim that in any case.
Cool. That's all I need to know. Count the mine.
Also, it's the Count's kind of rights to sell mining rights as well. So you have the sole ability to issue charters for mining operations within the county. Surely
this would be something that Donolo, as Count of Circusar at the time, would have.
It wasn't Count.
No.
He was he was essentially kind of right hand man of a weak Count,
Right.
who obtained various powers and such like, but he was never Count. And we have Mike back. So we've just established that Diego gets to keep the mine if you liberate it.
Cool. I can't find the night stat block, and I can't open it because the internet's so shitty. So
We
I
noticed
that he was a knight with 7. Would you be able to manage him, Paul? He's got that fighting style that's kind of like the protection one, but it's dual wielding, and he's got 70 hit points, and he's a knight. Like, that's the only things that are different, right?
I'll give it a
So
go.
we've got 2 potions of greater healing each.
Yep.
I'll give Killeen mine.
Well, Killeen will get 2 as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you got substantial resources available to you. So yeah, that's not going to be a challenge. He pulls out his Holy Avenger plus 12.
I was promised a Holy Avenger by that bloody Merchant.
Oh, merchant.
Yeah, you're at the paladin urinal, and you glance across and see his Holy Avenger +12 peeking out from underneath his his plate mail +9.
Part of me wants to bring an artist to sketch the three of us after we found them, like all being like,
You want to take the artist with us?
yeah.
Really?
Then you'll get done for smuggling a body back across the
Exactly.
border.
The only artist you're able to find is a piss artist. And
I'm not having a piss out. That's my valet.
yeah, basically. Oh yeah, the broken crockery. Gods, that takes me back. How times have changed. Okay, right. So let's crack on. Yeah. Okay. So you head off. Tef is sulking. She wants you to go, but then when you're about to go, she doesn't want you to go. And then it's kind of like when you're like, well, I've got to go. No, I really need you to stay. Then you're kind of like, well, okay, look, we can delay it a little bit. No, you should go. So eventually you get on the rug, based upon the fact that who knows. Who are you leaving in charge? The Ox, you're leaving Sulan in charge? Yeah, okay, cool, good stuff.
By the way, have you got any protection for Apraxin? Because he does have a bounty on him, doesn't he? He has an assassination on him. Are you going to set up like some additional...
Who, me or Diego?
No, well, either of you, I guess.
I think I would put the job in Ox's hands, because we've all seen those.
Just have him move to the Dragonborn place while you're away.
Everyone wants a Praxin!
Leave a Paxton under Danolo's care. No one will go near him.
No, he does have an assassination on him, so you should maybe have a few bodyguards at least.
You can have 2 bodyguards at great expense.
Oh, yes! Yes! Do that, Ox! Get the money!
I will have 2 bodyguards at your expense.
Oh.
I send you 2 kobolds.
That's something I want. That's like a cartoon or something I want to see. A Praxin and 2 kobolds.
That's a one-shot waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Sending kobolds would probably not be the best idea.
No.
That would attract a fair amount of attention. Sorry.
Okay, I'll send 2 black Dragonborn.
Yeah. Okay. You're signing a couple of bodyguards to Apraxin. Though you are right that Danilo is indeed paying a certain amount of attention to his colleague in the Chancellery.
Good.
Well, Apraxin.
Haven't been roommates.
That's not happening. Danilo needs. He doesn't want. He can't be doing the distractions that Apraxin favours. Right. Okay. So, you are atop the magic carpet, and it's going to take you a few days until you get to 2.5 days until you kind of get to the foothills of the mountains, and the place that, following this kind of crude map that Danilo has kind of sketched out for you. I think we're going to get disturbed very soon. You kind of like are going across the foothills of the mountains, and it starts off being kind of like hills and then becomes more rugged. There's very little habitation out here. There's kind of isolated farmsteads, things like that. And you do catch sight of creatures and an activity below. Anybody who's played World of Warcraft being like on a griffin or a bat, and you're flying across kind of like and you see like mobs attacking groups of players and mobs like just patrolling around. It's very much like that. You just swoop over and around and kind of off and stuff. And there's some lightly wooded patches, mostly deciduous woods, and you're kind of starting to head towards the more rugged, kind of taller kind of centre areas, and there's much more ruins out here. broken down stone, small habitations in valleys that have been ruined. There's no agriculture or kind of livestock out this far in. So think kind of like the Lake District or the Scottish Highlands, that kind of thing is a little bit of the Peak District flavour as you're kind of going through there. Low-lying mountains, essentially. And as you're kind of and how fast are you intending to kind of move? Are you kind of going all out, or are you going steady, or are you going slow? You're trying to keep down in the valleys out, so you're stealth, or you're like, let's get there as fast as possible, or something in between?
As we need, should we like, seeing as we know it's going to be a few days, should we like blast it for the first bit, and then maybe like halfway, or when we consider
Once
ourselves
we get
halfway,
close to the
Yeah.
mountain.
duck down there?
Slow down,
Yeah.
then start stealthing it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So as you're going relatively slowly, and you're kind of keeping quite a good lookout, you can see pockets of large winged creatures, usually 2 or 3 together, that are circling and looping and swooping around ahead of you. You kind of duck down a little bit, and sometimes keep low, and they haven't spotted you yet. But you can see now that there's one patrol that's starting to kind of come quite a bit closer. There are 3 creatures there, pretty large creatures, and they look as if they've got riders on their backs. And you recognise the dragon shape of them, and Ox, you recognise them as wyverns, and they're definitely kind of coming over to the direction of travel that you're in, and are fairly close. By fairly close, it's like 300 feet, 400 feet away. Doesn't appear to have spotted you yet.
Should
You
what?
parley with them to get some wyverns.
I think wyverns are particularly intelligent.
I know.
And it resolves itself. Resolves that there are ogres riding the wyverns, and the ogres have these, like kind of Japanese warrior style flags fluttering behind them in a deep, solid, deep blue colour, and you can hear the wind as they do, and they pull the reins, and the wyverns kind of move across. They've got what looks to be javelins in quivers on the side, and they've got big axes and clubs strapped to their backs.
Just for our reference, was this while we were going fast or while we were going slow?
This is why you're going slow, yeah.
Should we land and hide, do you think, or take them on?
Probably best not to start a fight yet. Let's try and avoid combat.
Okay, you kind of head down. Could you make a group stealth check for me?
Oh,
So everybody rolls stealth.
Oh,
Did you roll a 1?
no. I got 5.
Roll.
Will our armor affect this?
Usually you have harm is disadvantage on stealth.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, look at my disadvantage.
Wait, whoa.
I got a 20 on the other roll.
23.
I rolled 5.
So that's
Ox
a 13
coughs very loudly.
plus 1, so that's a 14, but the second roll is... Oh, it's better. So 14 is my lowest roll.
So 14, 23,
That's
give
5.
5.
Yeah.
Give Marshal Killeen a stealth roll as well. It's like a d20 plus 0.
This could be the decider. Did you roll in?
Oh, sorry. I thought Paul said he was going to do it.
No,
You roll.
Alright, okay. Boop. It's not great. So the not great roll was... and you say he doesn't even have a +1 to dex.
No. And he's wearing
it's an
plate, so is he wearing
eight.
plate?
It's an 8 then if he's
Yeah,
if he's
okay.
got disadvantage.
You aren't very stealthy, and despite Diego's attempts to kind of no, under the fucking tree, not on the tree. Other sage advice as to how to hide. You see the wyvern. One of them kind of pulls against the ogre riders. So for them, the ogre rider gives him its head, and they're coming towards you.
Shit. Do we? We don't have many ranged attacks between us either.
I got arrows.
Let's have some
Is there
initiative.
any way we can
Some initiative.
French run this?
Wow, I still only have a +1 to initiative. That's
It's got to be more manoeuvrable than a wyvern or wyvern.
Maneuverability isn't actually something that gets taken into account in 5th edition, basically. Though, yes, you're right, but the wyverns are quick. Ox will be able to tell you wyverns move faster than the carpet.
And a carpet burns.
I rolled a 12.
Down on a 12. Okay.
Colleen gets a +0. We've already established. He rolled a 3. Jesus, Colleen, why'd we take you? You ruined it.
He says, "Great leadership, boss."
What did Diego get?
22.
Oh, of course he did.
And I rolled a 1, so I get 2.
Oh.
I get to add my charisma to my initiatives.
Okay, so Diego, you're top of the round. They're about 400 foot away, but they're rapidly moving down towards you. And there's one in the lead and two slightly behind either side.
Oh, jeez.
How far?
About 400 foot.
400.
I'll fly an arrow, aim at the wyvern.
Okay. Which one? The front one?
Front one, yeah.
Okay.
Keep 400 feet?
Oh, they're that. Oh,
Yeah, we did with disadvantage, I think. It's like 250, is it, longbow range?
Can you use a longbow? I thought you were a rogue.
short bow.
Oh, short bow.
60 feet, isn't it?
It's more than 60 short
Not as
bow.
far as I thought.
And then you can find another 10 for every +1 of strength that you have and an I think, without taking disadvantage.
No,
Or something like that.
you've got a you've got a normal range and you've got a long range, and the long range is your max, but you've got disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm thinking of 50.
Short bow is 320.
And what's his normal range just for reference?
80.
So 80.
Okay.
Yeah, 320.
So they can fire disadvantage once they get 320.
A longbow is
Shot at disadvantage
150,
if we can.
600. Okay, so you're going to have to wait for them to kind of like to get a bit closer.
Okay.
Darian.
I should have brought my range weapons. I can usually use them.
Everybody's going through the pockets going, heavy crossbow, no. Oh, okay. The only ranged weapon I've got is my spit.
I've got a throwing axe.
Oh, that'll be good.
Well, 2 throwing axe.
In about 5 rounds' time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they're on me already.
Exactly. I don't think I can do much, so we'll do the.
Do you not have javelin?
No.
Oh.
I don't think I can smite with javelins. That was like my main rationale for not taking them.
I can smite javelins, but I can't smite with javelins.
Exactly. Not my MO.
Okay, they
So
all.
it's Darian Classic with a dodge action.
Okay, they all get closer. Colleen.
I guess he's going to follow suit, stand beside me in dodge action, because he just dual wields, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got a heavy crossbow as it happens.
Oh.
He pulls out his heavy crossbow.
Okay.
which has
You
got
see his one short.
which has got a top range. Sorry.
Do you want to do his actions or should I?
You do them. Yeah, you do them because otherwise I'm going to get myself into a right tiz.
Okay, right.
So he has a +2 to hit.
A +2.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Non-natural 20.
Disadvantage though.
All right. Well, say goodbye to that. 10.
Which hits 12.
Huh?
AC 12. No, it hit. It hit AC 12. It just kind of like bounces off the side. It was a reasonable shot. It's kind of like I'm getting my eye in. Ox.
I'm going to, since I have no range weapons and they're flying at us. Is there any trees nearby?
Yeah.
I'm going to tie one end of a rope securely around a tree,
Yeah.
quite a long amount of length, and tie the other
Yeah.
bit onto a bear trap and start swinging it round. I'm going to anchor this bastard as he flies by.
Okay. Let's see how that plays out then. So Diego, they're now 320.
Right, okay. So I can get this shot off at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll shout, we should probably have parlayed first.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. But
It's not got time.
That's an 11.
11.
To hit.
What do you hit? AC.
AC, yeah.
11 he got.
Well, 11 on the dice or 11 total?
11, including the bonus.
Oh, okay. Misses.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Anything else?
cry deeply.
I think while on this thing,
So what was that?
no, that's me done. I'm
Yep,
half
okay.
mind about Monty banking it across to the rider at the back.
Remember Paul's optional rules about 3-dimensional teleportation.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll smash into you at speed.
yeah, and they're going faster than us, so match
At
them
least-
speed.
Yeah, at least wait until they're hovering or have stopped or something.
Mm. It'll be like next little beat.
Yeah.
You've
Okay.
done your action anyway, so you can't mount you back anyway. So
Yeah.
And you may not want to just do that first thing in first combat. Darian.
so they're still closing in, and they clearly know we're here. So I can't do anything. I'll just dodge action.
Yep. Okay. They move as now 240. Colleen, can you reload a heavy? Is it like a bonus action to reload it?
Um,
I'm not
anybody
sure about
know?
heavy. I think
I've got a Piers Amber open.
I reckon so.
And,
Roll anyway. Roll with disadvantage. Let's go with it. Roll with disadvantage.
I
Mine.
kind of want him to brace for impact more than anything.
Okay, I'll roll with disadvantage for him. He hits AC 8, so that one goes wildly wild. Ox.
I will tell him to brace for impact.
It's a choice anyway, loading. You can fire, you can use an action, a bonus action, or a reaction.
Okay, I use his bonus action and fire this action because that's how he rolls.
So when the thing gets within 60 feet of me, I can just throw the trap at it.
Yep. Okay, so they're currently 400 through 20, so they're now 240. So Diego.
Oh, back around already. I'm not used to this. I'm
Rusty.
Yeah.
I have minions to deal with this shit. Why are you not dealing with this shit?
I'll throw another arrow.
Yep. Okay, go for it.
Oh, that's more like it. 16.
Hits. So the wyvern, yeah.
Yeah. It's only 6 damage. piercing.
Okay.
Damn you!
Okay, it takes it. It doesn't particularly. Blood starts to come off it a little bit. It's kind of like in its main chest area, but it continues down. Anything else?
Brace for impact.
Okay, Darian.
Dodge action, and I tell Killing to brace for the impact.
Yeah. Okay.
We spread out. I mean, I don't think they breathe fire, but it's
They
probably not
don't. They
good
don't
for
breathe fire. They
us.
have stingers.
Yeah, it's probably not good for us to all stand together though, or like tightly together. You know what I mean?
You probably shouldn't be stood
Just
near
a
me.
wee
I'm
bit.
swinging round this massive.
Yeah.
Well, you
Just
run
like-
over to a
just
tree
like
anyway.
5
So
Oh, yeah.
let's say that you're like 20 feet away from the main group. Everybody else has probably got at least 10 feet between them. You're trying to
Yeah.
hide anyway. So
5, 10, or no, I'll be in the middle. Yes.
okay,
it's my
Darian, you
aura.
move. You can get Diego and you can get Colleen, but you can't get Ox. Okay.
That then.
They are 240, so they now become 160. Yep. Okay. Ox. They're
I'm still swinging around waiting.
a couple of rounds probably away.
Yeah. It's at this point I realise I could have just done a lasso. That would have probably worked better, but I'm committed now.
Okay. Top of the round, Diego. They are 160.
Let's try another arrow. I'm in half a mind to get the grapple. I think with Ox, big burly Ox, swinging this rope with a bear trap on.
You don't need a grapple hook. You can run up trees now.
Yeah, but it's just that distance between.
Could you jump
us
and land
the...
on one and stick to it? I think you probably could.
You've got
Yeah, they're
spider shoes.
Pretty big. Yeah.
I did run up a giant one. Or something.
See, I'm assuming they're going to try and fly past us and like hit us on the fly. So
Stingers on the flyby. Yeah.
I'm essentially, if my thing doesn't anchor them, I'm just basically using a giant makeshift flail. Boom.
Don't your normal attacks stop people from moving by you anyway?
Only if it's a attack of opportunity.
Diego.
Oh, and flyby doesn't give you one.
How far off would you deem it reasonable to grapple hook and try and basically swing onto this thing?
I'd probably say about 60 feet.
Yeah.
Because your
That's what I'm
rope,
waiting
it's more the length of the rope and yeah, 60 feet.
Okay. I'll continue with the bow until it's within 60 feet.
So 180 at the moment.
Yeah. So short bow. That's good. 18.
Hits.
Oh, fuck's sake. 6.
Same wyvern.
Yep.
Okay. Again, another arrow in his chest, not slowing it down at all. You can see that the ogres have got javelins out. Darian. Is it
Bad
just me that's
connection.
lost him?
No, I think it's a terrible connection today.
Yeah.
Almost. Back.
Yeah. So probably dodge action. And is the carpet's got to be relatively close by, right?
Yeah, you probably stood on it.
Cool. That works for me. So if they fly by, probably gonna grab that. But for now, dodge action for days.
Yeah, okay. They are. What did I say they were at? 140? 160?
Yeah.
They were at 160, they're now at 80.
Right.
20 more feet.
So then I will give them. Okay. Okay. Russian Clean takes his last shot, which is no longer at disadvantage.
You might as well have been.
Okay. He then drops the crossbow and readies himself. Ox.
I've got to wait another 20 feet and then I can let loose.
Let loose the bear traps of war.
Yep. I ain't used one in a while. It's about time. They're getting slightly rusty.
Diego.
I'm going to dash forward and.
Oh, I could have just moved forward. No, I can't move forward because it's attached to the tree. Yeah. So I've only got a certain amount of length, yeah.
And when this thing gets in range, if I need to grapple hook it, I'll grapple hook it, but I'm going to try and attach myself to one of those.
Okay, hit me with a ranged attack roll.
Ooh. Add dex, add strength. What would you like me to?
Add dex. So you're trying to grapple hook one of them
onto it, yeah.
Yeah. 15.
Oh yeah, that hits. Yeah. So your grapple hook kind of like lands on the body of it.
Whoa, was it?
Lands on the body of it. Kind of like drops a little bit, but snags on all the harnessing and the saddle bit where the ogre is, and I'm assuming that you kind of like wrapped it around yourself, and you were braced and kind of ready for that. No, you won't get pulled off because actually it's coming towards you, so the rope is getting more slack. It's as it goes past you.
Yeah.
So you've got one, and this thing is kind of like coming in.
Yeah.
It's like at that point off. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cool.
You better start running with it before that thing.
Anything else?
I start climbing it.
Okay. What's your worst acrobatics roll that you could make?
The worst one I could make is a 23.
Yeah, okay, you start climbing it. Yeah, fine. And let's say you took 10 movement. You're taking the action, so you've got 20 feet left plus 30 feet of your bullshit rogue stuff. So you're gonna you start to clamber up, and you all see Diego kind of like, you're not quite sure how he's doing it. It's like the boy wonder, Dick Grayson. And given that your enemies are Bane, somebody somewhere's got to be Batman. Maybe Danolo's Batman. He pulls himself like really rapidly up this rope, like it's ridiculous, and he's pretty much at the wyvern's underbelly by the saddle. The ogre, has he seen you come in? Is this some kind of bullshit movie I was expecting? Not a chance with that roll. The ogre's still kind of like intent. The wyvern, however, has seen you coming. It's kind of like, what the fuck? This is not how things work. This is not how these things play down. Okay, so the 3 ogres are now in range of their javelins, so they're going to fire one at Darian. Oh, crits.
Disadvantage.
Oh, because of dodge. Okay, hitting AC possibly not high enough. 21.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Thuds into the ground next to you at Ox. Hitting AC 17. That's not going to be high enough either. And at Moshin, Colleen, and misses. Okay. Darian, you're next.
I assume they're flying higher than I'd be able to move and hit them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you got any spells at the range?
Smite slots. Did you just say?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen him cast a spell.
I did dispel magic that one time.
I think you're thinking of Aldred.
No, he can't do it yet. I know. That's really weird to me that Darian's a better spellcaster than him. Yeah, do you know what? I never prepare Compel Duel, so that would have been really handy.
Okay.
Let's take the magic carpet.
Okay.
and fly right at, I guess, one of them. I'm kind of like, I guess my intent would be to crash into an ogre.
Okay. You can fly. You're still 20 foot short.
You can fly what? Sorry.
So you fly, but you're still 20 foot short.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. My intent's to crash into an ogre, though. So I want to be like so awkwardly placed that he will have to either deliberately go into me or like, kind of like.
So which wyvern?
The one that Diego's not doing. So.
Okay, so Diego's on the one that's already been injured. So you're on the next one. So let's call it wyvern number 2, because I'm not gonna reveal what their names are to you guys. That's not character knowledge. Wizzy. Okay, so it's that. So the wyverns are next. So the one that you are about to jump onto, Diego, is like tries to twist and turn himself a little bit. The ogre makes its animal handling check, and it has a go at you with its stinger.
Ooh. Okay.
It can't get to you with its bite though, and it can't quite get to you with a claw without chucking everything off. So it's going to go with its stinger. What's your AC?
18.
Oh, misses you. Just kind of comes across your face. You can smell the toxicity as it kind of comes down. The next wyvern that you're heading towards, Darian, what does that do? It will...
Does he have to make an animal handling check not to crash into me?
Oh, I might be intending to crash into you.
Okay, that's also fine.
But the ogre doesn't really know kind of what the crack is. They're not the smartest cookies in the batch. The wyvern.
Women smart.
I mean, at this point, I'm probably like that close to his face.
Well, you're 20 feet. You're 20 feet away, so it's going to carry forward, and it's going to have a go at you. It's going to try and bite you, and it's going to try. It's going to try and bite you. Hits AC 25.
Bastard. Do I lucky that?
You flew straight into its mouth.
No, you're supposed to tell me. Let that hit go through, but you're supposed to tell me what you roll on the die going forward.
If you want to burn a lucky on 2d6 plus 4 piercing damage, then go for it.
Well, no, I just said go ahead with it.
I'm doing 13 points of damage.
Okay.
And then it comes through with its stinger as well, rolling a 17.
A 7.
17.
Oh, that's nowhere close.
No, that's on the dice.
Oh.
So do you look at it or not?
No.
Okay. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, no, 17 doesn't hit, so what do you add to it?
I had more. I hit. It's going to hit.
It's going to be like a +8
You've got
to
to
it.
clear it, though.
What's your AC?
Not telling.
Okay. You fail your Constitution
It
check,
crits.
and you take 12 points of piercing damage, and make me a Constitution saving throw.
How do I... What?
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, but, like, you've got to tell me what its bonus is.
17...
That information would be available at the table.
Only because I roll publicly. I don't have to. I'll tell you, he hit AC 24.
Then it misses.
What's your AC?
My AC is 25.
Damn it. 17. Yeah, okay.
Bastards!
Whoa, hold on a minute. I can roll whatever I choose to roll. Okay, it clangs against your armor. The third wyvern comes down and starts to have a go at you, Ox.
Oh, is he in range of me throwing my thing now then?
Yep.
Do I get to do that before they
Did you ready that action?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the last 3 rounds.
Yeah. Okay, yep. You go do that.
So I'll make a ranged attack. 23.
Hits.
So now, how are we going to judge whether this clamps on? And I'm hoping then, because it'll fly by, the rope will go taut and it'll smash into the ground.
What damage does it do?
A D4.
Yeah, okay. Do the damage.
Do I get a plus to it? My strength, maybe.
No,
Is it
no.
3 damage?
Okay. And let's say it's gonna have a pretty high. Roll me a d100.
I got a d100. Right, so. 73.
Yeah, it clamps on.
Yeah.
Still, it's not going taut.
Not
so
until after it's flown by.
Yeah, it kind of comes down. It's going to have a go at you with a stinger, which is misses, and then it has a go, and it will crit with its bite.
Oh.
Doing. Ow. 10, 15, 18, 22 points of damage.
So did these things fly by, or did they just like go into us?
So the one that is got Ox has now moved past, and it's pulled your rope taut. What's your strength? 20?
Yeah, but it's attached to the trees if you've ended a rope.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then my strength is
Bad your
20.
strength.
Yeah, my strength is 20.
Bad your strength.
Okay, yeah, anyway, it's going to reach the length of the rope at the end of its turn. The one that, let's think now, the one that Diego's on has swooped past. The one that you were trying to crash to is now 60 foot the other side. It's gone swooping past you as it kind of flew past.
So it has done a flyby. Okay.
Yeah. So we are down to Marchion Colleen, who is like, oh, okay, cheers. He races over to see what aid he can offer you, Ox. And now it's your turn, Ox.
So now I will. It's flown by me now, hasn't it?
Yep.
So can I draw a throwing axe and launch it after it? Or would that not be quick enough?
Well,
Actually,
you,
I'll just blast
actually, no.
acid
So you readied your action, didn't you?
Yeah,
So
have I been?
So you've essentially been. Yeah.
I've been.
Yeah. Okay. So Diego, you're top of the round.
No, I presume I can't get a sneak attack off because its ally is the ogre.
Because it's ally. What? Sorry. The ogre. Yeah. They're there.
Yeah. Well, since I can't get my sneak attack off, I'm going to start using my magic rapier, cutting some of the straps. Just.
Oh, that's so clever!
Yep. Okay. Make me an attack roll.
How does a rapier cut straps?
It's like you'd be able to pull
Same
it
way
like that.
Zorro cuts through the sexy lady's dress.
Well, I imagine that. I imagine rather than kind of like trying to do that, you're going to be forcing it under and just pulling against.
Okay.
18.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Roll damage.
Nice.
The
Damage on the straps.
The saddle didn't know he was there, right? So he gets sneak attack.
No, because the ogre's within 5 feet of him.
Yeah. The saddle, the ogre, and the wyvern are within 5 feet of the saddle.
The saddle has allies nearby.
Yeah.
No, the ogre sat on the saddle, so strictly speaking, I guess it's its enemy.
I would say I would happy to be a saddle.
Yeah, okay, so you start to do that. So you cut through that one. There's another one kind of towards the back that you probably need to kind of have a go at to try to properly get it off, but that'll be next round.
Yeah. That was 10 damage.
It slices through. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Nice. And you're just stood on the side of it.
To make sure that I can get my acrobat myself upwards to plant my feet on the belly of this.
Yeah.
On the underbelly.
Okay. Right, so the ogre, so the one that's kind of that is trying to control the wyvern that you're just slice through the seat off, he makes his essentially his ride check to not completely fall out, and he's trying to grab at you but clearly can't. So then the ogre that was on the wyvern that went past you, Darren, twists around and throws a javelin that misses, and the ogre that's on the one that's about to get caught by the tree throws a javelin at you, Ox, and misses. Okay, Darian.
Right, 60 feet is the speed of the carpet.
That's
isn't it?
correct, yeah.
Cool. Then we'll ride up. And
You see the carpet zoom, kind of look behind the wyvern.
I will cast Shield of Faith, which I should have done, actually. It seems I'm a bit rusty as well. As a bonus action, and then we are going to go in to the... Do we go for the ogre or the wyvern?
Barrel into the ogre. Just smash him off with your shoulder.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm not as... I really want to cut the saddle, but I know Darian would not be smart enough to think of that. So I'm just going to go after the rider. So first attack. Although I do have a good plus to hit. Count Martin. 15.
Hits.
Cool. I'm not going to get many swings at this guy, I feel like, so I think I'm going to drop a pretty decent smite right away. So regular damage is 7 is going to be a magical longsword, and then the rest is going to be divine. So 7 normal, and then that's rubbish. 2 there, 10, 16. 23 and 24. So 24 radiant damage, and whatever I said was the
7
non-radiant damage.
Okay, you smash into the ogre, slicing it quite substantially. It recoils in kind of like anger. Yep. Okay.
And I hit him again, or I'm going to attempt to hit him again. Lucky. God damn it! No, that's better than last time. That's 8 plus 8, so that's 16.
Hits.
Lucky points. Jesus, I don't even know how to manage my own sheet now. I'm well lucky down. So again, that is 7 regular magical damage, and then 4, 9, and 11. Oh, and I've only got... Jesus. This one's only 12. Although lower smite slot, it's only 12 radiant on top of that.
So what was that in total?
19.
Was it 7 plus 12?
7 plus 12 radiant, yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. It's still there, but massively wounded. You can see it's starting to bleed from all kinds of like wounds that you have placed upon it. It's screaming in ogre, in giant, and the wyvern is responding. Anything else?
No, that's everything. I've moved, I've bonused, and I've attacked.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So the wyvern that's got you on, Diego, is really freaking out. It really can't get its head round to get at you properly, but it can still try you with a stinger. But clearly, it's finding it very difficult to do that.
It would be quite hard to try and get me with its claw as well. Surely.
Yeah, it just can't. Right, we're getting disturbed. Can you go to bed?
Diego, I was thinking we were expecting you there. It's about like a cat with a cucumber. That's what it's like.
And it moves, and it's starting to move lower towards the ground.
Okay.
Ooh.
Can I get more of those straps off?
Oh, on your turn you can try.
Diego's speciality.
I think it's actually moving lower, a bit lower towards trees, and you are going to start to get clattered by a load of trees. You can kind of hop off because you're not much more than 10 feet from the ground now, or you can kind of try and stay on through the trees.
Isn't it the Wyvern's go or not Diego's? Or is it Diego's go?
Yeah, but as a reaction, I'd give him an opportunity to kind of just...
Oh, okay.
Because basically he's just going to drop, isn't he? He's going to fall.
Yeah. Would it be kind of like a deck save to like an area of branches attacking you?
Yeah.
Onto the top. Wyvern.
Yeah, I think give him a boost. Is there can I saunter round the belly?
Yeah, make a deck save.
Come on, baby.
Well, you've got
that's
evasion,
good.
haven't you?
That's very good. That's a 27.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you basically dodge around to the top of it. You're kind of like now next to the ogre.
Yeah.
He's definitely unimpressed with you being there and starts to swing at you. Yeah, not as an attack or anything like that, but just generally as his action, his activity rather than his action. So that's the one. The one that you were fighting, Darian, kind of hightails it, double moves away. So that's 160 away from you now. The one that's attached to the tree.
Oh, is that an attack of opportunity though?
Yeah, you get an attack of opportunity. Yeah.
Yes.
You should have Sentinel.
And you
It
can
doesn't
pick.
matter.
You can pick to choose the wyvern, or you can pick the ogre.
Right there. Right
Does
there.
Sentinel have any size restrictions?
Yes, that is a 19 plus whatever my sword is, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't think it does.
And
Or a large, maybe.
lowest level smite. Hopefully a lowest level smite will do it. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8.
No,
9.
it doesn't have a size restriction.
9 regular damage.
Mhm.
That's a terrible smite. 1, 7.
And what are you hitting? The ogre or the wyvern?
The ogre.
Yeah. Okay. It dies.
9, 11. Cool.
Nice.
So 11 plus 7.
I covered my nice carpet in blood.
Ogre blood, the worst kind. Okay, but the wyvern, the ogre doesn't fall. It's kind of
Ogre
like
doesn't
just
what, sorry?
it doesn't fall or anything. It's like you can see it kind of blood starts to
Ragdolling
stream
around.
off from it.
It'll be like strapped into the it'll be harnessed to the saddle.
And the wyvern's out of dodge. So Ox, the one that kind of you tied to the tree. What kind of size tree was it? Pretty substantial.
Pretty substantial.
It was a giant among trees. It's the biggest tree.
Surely it was a tree amongst giants.
It's clearly surprised, and it kind of like comes down into the ground. So it's dropping from, let's say, it would have gone angled if it could move 80. So let's say it's dropping from 40 feet, thuds into the ground with a smash, taking 11,
Yes.
14, 17 points of bludgeoning damage. That makes that. And the ogre is also kind of like surprised. It's essentially prone, but it's like kind of like starting to kind of get back up.
Does the ogre fall off?
No, the ogre doesn't fall off, but it drops the javelin it had in its hand.
Yeah.
Killeen, let's think now. He came over to you 60 feet. He will double move over to it.
Mm-hmm.
Ox.
I will double move up and run up and draw my axe and light it on fire.
Okay. Yep. So that you'd have to double move because it's 60 feet away, more or less, from where you are. Okay, cool. Top of the
But
round.
then I could action surge,
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
and then I'll just attack the ogre while
Yep.
he's sat there looking stunned.
You guys really want to burn through your resources early on in the adventuring day.
No, burn through resources.
If we silence these guys now, then.
There's a 16 hit.
16 hits. Yeah. Prone. Oh, yeah. Be at advantage because it's prone.
All right, I'll roll just in case that didn't crit. That was a 2. Yeah, that's crap. 8, 9. 19 damage
On the ogre. Yep.
on the ogre.
Yep.
Second attack. Oh, that's 26.
Hits.
But 17 plus 8. 25 damage on the ogre.
Yeah. Okay.
And my third attack
It's getting pulped.
is 29.
Hits.
Almost a crit. And is that the same? No, 21 damage.
Dies.
Ah. And I've used my
The
action.
ogre kind of lolls like that. Okay. Diego.
Get more. I'll get more of these straps off.
Yep. Okay.
20 unnatural.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Yep.
That's fairly decent. That's a 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cut the strap off. The tumbling down from at least probably 100 feet, I'd say.
Yeah.
Smashes the ogre into what is known in the trade as a pulp. The wyvern remains unimpressed.
Yeah. Now that's happened. I can take my dagger out. I can take it.
And attack the wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go for it.
15.
Hits.
With a dagger. 1, 2, 3.
Do you know, these ogres, I mean, they're not thinking anymore, but they must have thought in those fleeting few seconds, it's like, Jesus, what just happened? Because we, like, sprung up out of nowhere.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 4. Oh, right. Yeah. That's the counting up bit.
I know, I'm so not used to it. Do you know, I forgot I tidied up Darian's abilities, and Lucky's like somewhere completely different on the sheet now.
Yeah, I haven't used the character sheet in so long. Apart from on Waterdeep one, we've used the online one.
Yeah.
20 piercing damage.
From a dagger?
Yeah.
Well,
Sneak
yeah, 'cause
attack.
he's got sneak attack. Yeah, it's like a high-level smite every time he attacks now. It's ridiculous.
Okay, it screams as you kind of clearly are getting towards some kind of like key part of its
Throaty bit.
of its throaty bit as it's known in the trade. Okay, so Darian, you're next.
So this is the wyvern just going straight, or does it look like it's coming round back in an arc?
It's out of here.
Oh, it's just jetting off, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's not much I can do about that. So let's go see what Ox's wyvern is doing.
So you come back around.
I'm gonna have to double move, then move. So the double move takes.
Yeah,
time.
but what it's doing is thrashing around in the ground at the moment. Okay, so the wyvern that's got you on, Diego, what is it going to do? It's going to take some real damage. You see a kind of lake ahead of you, a long, thin lake, and it's diving straight down for it. It's not going to get there for maybe 2 or 3 rounds. But that's what it's trying ahead for. You suspect the one that you just mullered the ogre of Ox. It uses half its movement to stand. It then takes a disengage action, kind of like tries to buffet you away, and then flings off into the air.
It's disengaged though, hasn't it?
Yeah, but Sentinel means it provokes even if you disengage.
Oh yeah, it does. I'll take a swing at it then.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 12.
Misses.
Guess. Okay.
And then it hightails itself in a similar direction to the other one went, but it's only able to move. It's gone 40, 20, so it's gone disengage action, so it's gone 20 that way.
So it's coming towards me then.
Well, it's kind of tangentially to you, but you'd be able to cut it off at the pass, so to speak. And Diego, that one's dead. No, that one's ran. Yeah.
Does it fly off with the bear trap still attached to it, or did that fall off?
That fell off when you went to town on the ogre.
All right.
I
can recover it then.
Well, Colleen, by this time he'll have got his crossbow out, and he fires at something but misses. Ox.
Colleen, man! You've not done 1 point of damage yet.
Ox.
Okay.
So they're all flying off then?
Yeah.
Can you still breathe at it? Are you one of those Dragonborn that breathe in a line?
Yeah.
He'll have got. To breathe at it?
I've only got 30 foot of range.
It's only 20 feet away.
Oh, right.
Nice. I mean, Ox, when are you ever going to use it otherwise today?
I'll breathe acid at it.
Yep, okay.
Or throwing an axe better for you, I don't know.
If I throw an axe, I could throw 3 axes, but I don't.
3 axes?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a title now, does he? He's giving away three axes.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. No, I'm just going to breathe acid. It's a reflex save.
Reflex? That's 4th edition, isn't it?
Reflex. Dexterity save.
Against DC.
15.
Okay, it fails.
3, 7, 14 damage.
Okay. You kind of char one of its legs, but it still manages to kind of be there.
And that's my go.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like a cast of friends.
Diego, make a perception check.
Perception 19.
Okay. As you're kind of heading towards this lake, you can see off on the there's a wooded escarpment kind of comes down to the edge of the lake, and it's a long, thin stretch of water, and there's a fell side, a fairly steep fell side, the other side of the lake. This creature's really trying to get down low. Clearly, it wants to submerge you. But as it's kind of going down low, you can see and hear some screeching coming from what looks to be a ledge on the other side of the lake, on the steep fell side, and you think you can see a kind of thin opening and a kind of a red head, kind of wyvern-like, kind of peeks out across the other side. You think you might see some movement just below that.
Okay, so a nest.
We've accidentally split the party here, haven't we?
Yeah, jump off.
He can teleport a mile, though. He has got that going for him.
Yeah.
Can't teleport a mile.
Yeah,
it's a little under a mile.
It's a third. No, right. So a mile is 1,500 feet. Capable of mountain bike, you can do what, 300 feet?
I thought it was like 100 feet or something, isn't it?
No, it's way more than that.
I can't remember.
What does it correspond to?
You could teleport to the ground.
Dimension door.
Yeah, dimension door. So it's not 200 feet. Range is 500 foot, which is a third of a mile.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay. That's all right. You can still get to the ground.
that's still really far.
Yeah.
You could drop to the ground. I mean, the creature's getting as close to the ground as it can.
Yeah. Tuck and roll.
Well, this is gonna. You said it'd be a couple of turns before it gets there.
So I'm going to continue stabbing it.
Yes, I'm gonna stab it with a rapier.
Okay. Well, it's heading for the lake, and it's trying to. Yeah, it's clearly skirting the ground, and it looks like it's heading to hit the lake as hard as it can.
I got time. It's fine.
Yep,
Yeah,
okay.
Diego's confident. That's fine.
Yeah, go for it.
So 14.
Hits.
Bring this mother down.
There you go. You sneak attack, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, the D6 is
10, 15, 16, 18, 20, 26 piercing damage.
Okay, it's still there, still flying reasonably comfortably. Okay. Anything else?
Just put my dagger into it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a 20 something.
Hits.
4.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. Still that. You're kind of like picking a scale off it.
Huh.
Anything else?
For the moment, no.
Okay, Darian.
Let's fly into that one that's getting away from Ox.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll do 2 attacks. It's not worth a lucky. Right, second attack. Better. 17 plus 8.
Hits.
Use a lot of smites as well. Let's just do a... We'll do a lowest level. Right. Oh no! Well, that's normal damage. Is 5. And then my smite damage is 5. Ooh, that's not bad. 5. 12. Ooh. 17. And last one. No, I shouldn't roll another one. 17. So it's 17 plus 5.
22. 22. Okay. Yep. You smash into it. It still looks like it's flying quite healthily.
Oh, really? Jesus. I think this one's getting away then. That's all I can do.
Yep. Okay. It takes a disengage action from you and then moves.
It does a barrel roll.
Moves 80. Yep. So the wyvern that is got you, Diego, double moves another 160 and is basically about to hit the lake. Make me another perception roll.
That's not as good. That's a 13.
Okay. On the wind, you catch what sounds like a gong being banged.
Oh, shit.
We were that close to them.
And yeah, okay, cool. You don't know where the other one went. Colleen, Moshin Colleen. He can take a disadvantage hit. Oh, okay, he hits a wyvern.
Yeah.
From like the.
Flee the wyvern, Colleen.
Oh, okay. That. Okay, yeah. He's quite pleased with himself. He claims he hit it in the eye, and clearly blinded it. Probably hit his memory centers as well. Who knows? And it's now Ox.
There's not much I could do. Everything's flying away, so I'm just gonna recover my bear trap.
Yeah, okay. You pull it back. You've got bits of saddle and kind of like harness,
Flesh stuck in it.
Yeah, attached to it. Clean it off. Set it again. Put it in your bag.
Yep.
So, I'll just go get some crisps. Ouch! Ouch! That kind of thing. Okay. Top of the round, Diego.
Would I have any ideas to how far away my friends are in comparison to how far this woman's flown?
It can't have flown that far. I mean, it has probably flown about a third of a mile.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll keep the Monty Bank back.
The issue is, though, you don't want to keep a Monty Bank space with a tree in it. So do you want to be above the tree line? I know you'll take some damage, but...
You arrive at exactly the space desired. One you can visualize, so you can visualize the ground where the magic carpet was.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna I was thinking I could get my shirt all wet and be like Mr. Darcy sexy, but no.
For the benefit
Whose
of
benefit
who?
is this for? Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, I guess I need ego.
We're not on the chalk branch anymore.
We're on the Chalk branch. Okay, for Monty Bank.
Yeah, okay. You all kind of stood there and you smell sulphur, and Diego just walks out of a slight shadow. And
boys.
standing there.
Okay, now where do you come from?
I lower the magic carpet down and it's like, we should probably move.
Yeah, move in the direction that river that I was on went.
Why?
Why?
Well, you're not going to like the idea of more wyvern, but there was a gong there.
I thought the point was the gems. We don't need to fight more. We need to get these gems.
Unless they're protecting the gem.
Well, we got your map. Is that the direction the gems are in?
Yeah,
good
more or
point.
less. The map does indicate it's next to a lake.
Oh God.
I mean, scale is something that's really subjective on maps of this
How
kind
many
of like
wyverns
technology
did you
level. You just saw one wyvern, but you don't know very many wyverns that bang gongs.
Can I use my dragon sense to see if I can sense any red dragons within 30 miles?
There are red dragons within 30 miles.
Shit.
Oh no.
And what I
And
saw
they're
was red.
angry.
Oh, we've pissed off the wrong people, Diego. We better try and skim the edge of the lake and try and keep out of sight then, maybe for a bit.
Okay,
I'll
I guess we're gonna
pull out a
fly
rag
low.
and wipe off my magic carpet.
We're gonna
and
fly low and
Darian.
go around the way then. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
Okay.
round the lake.
Right, so let me see if I could do this right. Oh,
Of course, a dragon would have claimed them. Why didn't we think of that?
A red fucking dragon as well.
So,
Tell him it's courtesy of your lord, the blue dragon.
so as you're kind of like skirting through the around the lake, you see the one screen. Okay, I should now be sharing my screen.
Yeah.
What is that?
So
lake?
So there's a lake there, and
Cave
you can see
entrance.
the cave entrance, in which you see the head of a wyvern kind of like poking out, and the other wyvern has landed there and is kind of like settled there, and you can see below that a small ledge on which you see a couple of figures, kind of like perched, ogre-sized figures,
Right.
kind of like there. And this is a cutaway view, so you can kind of see it's fairly steep hillside, the lake and the platform and such like. You can hear the banging of the kind of gong from within. I don't claim to be any form of artist.
I mean, it's pretty good. I was just like,
Yeah.
I think the wyvern's
red dragon
pretty.
looks like a chicken.
Okay, if
Kill
you want to tell him that. In fairness, chickens are descended from dinosaurs, and I think I read somewhere that dragons are basically
Dinosaurs are descended from dragons.
dragons are basically ninja dinosaurs with magic. So
Dragons are basically chickens.
Yeah.
pick your fights. That's all I'm saying.
This is the missing link. We
Yeah.
found it, guys.
So, look at our map. Does that seem to correspond to where we need to go?
Yeah, to the extent.
Bugger.
So does it look like there's a killable number of ogres?
You don't know. I mean,
Yeah, we
just from eyesight.
We can kill them all. Fine.
that's an entrance into some form of underground complex, a dungeon, perhaps. I don't know.
That may or may not contain a dragon.
Yeah, but it's within 30 miles. The dragon could be 29 miles the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they generally like expensive things, and that's what we're heading towards, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to commission me for artwork pieces,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, frankly. Unless you're looking for something that you could pass off as being done by a 3-year-old, an untalented 3-year-old on alcohol.
Mhm.
Okay.
So what's the plan here, guys?
Do we fly straight into the entrance and just go at them?
I mean, they already know we're here.
Yeah, they do already know it. Yeah, but they don't know exactly where we are. I
Well,
imagine they've seen us.
it occurs to you that you did kill all the ogres, and wyverns can't talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do know we're here. Considering one came back with a slain ogre on him.
Yeah, good
They
point.
look at it and they decide
I
that-
don't understand the meaning of the gong sound.
Well, what? Sorry.
We said they can't talk. Could
Yeah.
they understand what that sound meant? The gong sound, I mean.
Who's the
Possibly.
wyvern?
Yeah, but the rest of the ogres know it.
Yeah, the rest
Yeah.
of the ogres know it, and they'll control the wyvern. Yeah, so what's the plan here, guys?
We could try find a back entrance, perhaps. Or we can go straight in.
How about we wait a little bit for some of them to come out searching and then go in?
Maybe.
Just a
I
few
like that.
How long are
A
you
few
prepared
moments for them
to?
to stand
How long are you prepared to wait?
Just as long as it takes them to send out a search party, and then
Do you want to go at night?
I've gone away a little bit. They'll just
Okay,
ring the
so
gong again.
one of the
Well, actually,
wyverns.
they'll ring the gong again. There's no point. They'll ring the gong again the second we get there.
So one of the wyverns, as you're kind of like tucked away, kind of hiding, one of the wyverns kind of comes out onto the ledge, and you see it's got an ogre rider on it, and it kind of alights, does a gentle kind of like swoop around the entrance, and then it heads off to the north at a really quick pace. You aren't north, by the way.
Alright.
Oh,
Can-
they're gonna
Can I
get
use a
friends.
hit die while we're resting?
You're taking a short rest. You're gonna wait for an hour.
I don't think that was a.
An hour?
No, this is like in the 5 to 10
Oh, okay.
minute style.
Yeah, he's going to get help. So
I think we barrel straight in there
yeah,
now.
I think that's the main thing to
Fly
do. now.
full pellet into him and just smash into him.
And look for those gems. Let's
Into the
prioritize the
ogres.
gems over the fighting.
Just
Yeah.
straight for the entrance then.
With me, Killian, this time. I'll say.
Okay. So what? So what's the plan then? So there's that small platform in front of the entrance, and then there's the bigger ledge where there's at least one wyvern in there, at least
We're
one
going to
wounded wyvern, possibly more. No further wyverns have shown their face.
Cool. Do you want to just go in like destroying a starship style, where you just keep flying, like don't even get off the carpet, just keep flying
Yep.
and look for these gems? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fly through the place and look for where these gems could be.
Well, we're not even going to fight them. We're just going to keep flying past.
I mean, as long as the doors are big enough, I guess.
I don't think.
Ogres are big, mind.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but I'm probably equally big.
So if
I'm
the
not
doors
far
are
off.
like, if the doors are like 2 abreast ogre, I presume we could get through there on the carpet.
Yeah. Okay, you kind of swoop down, and you kind of see that there are 2 ogres kind of guarding the entrance, but it immediately narrows after that, such that an ogre would have to squeeze to get through, and you certainly can't take the carpet through there.
Can I sup a health potion while we're flying towards it across the lake?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's a good
44
point.
plus 4. That's 4. That's 8. I healed 12.
I'll do the same.
That was shit.
I will not.
Oh, that's a 1. That's a 2.
Let's have some initiative, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I didn't get a 1.
So they are going to go on that.
I'm 1 hit point off full after that potion.
Okay, Diego,
26.
Ox,
I'm nailing initiative this week.
16.
Darian,
4.
and Colleen is going on that. Okay, so there are 2. So the entrance would be wide enough. The main entrance would be wide enough, but there are 2 ogres stood immediately in front of it. Clearly on the lookout, guarding. They've spotted you. Their eyes on, and they get their great clubs with nails through, ready to kind of batter you. And you can see kind of just as it goes into the darkness, it narrows down to being about 5 foot wide, and the carpet won't fit through that.
We're gonna have to dive off as soon as we get in and just club them.
Yeah.
Or do you want? Could we? Is it tall enough that we could just like duck and fly over them and then disembark from?
No.
I think it's narrow. It's narrow.
Jesus, what was that?
Yeah.
What?
There was a horrible noise in the mic.
Yeah, it's neither narrow nor tall enough for you to kind of do that. If you look at the picture that I put back up again, the ogres almost stand as tall as the entrance itself.
Right.
And it's actually reasonably good work. The entrance, it's kind of got the right stones in the right places. It's not like hastily cobbled together. This is
Dwarven
probably
made.
possibly dwarven, but it's definitely not ogre made.
I'm gonna just ready my axe, and so as soon as we're flying, I'm just gonna have to.
So can I have a marching
Attack
order as
one.
well, by the way? I'm assuming it would be Ox, Darian at the front.
Yeah, I'd want.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So
So
yes.
the way in which we're getting off this carpet, are we?
We're gonna have to land the carpet in the entrance.
Just for reference, how long was it before like that person flied out?
Yeah, it was about 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops.
Okay. Can you be more specific? Because that affects if Shield of Faith's still.
It was 7 minutes 34.6 seconds.
How long was Shield
It's
Faith for?
probably just about to go down, but it'll last for this combat probably. Then. Yeah.
Okay.
It's 10 minutes. Is
Oh, you're right then.
As we're slowing down, are we slowing down sort of like in? Are we stopping right bang outside?
You're going to hit the ogre, so you're going to stop at that point. So
Yeah.
you can stop
Okay,
at
so
some point
we're
before
doing
that.
And this passageway gets
Narrow
progressively
after.
narrower.
Yeah.
So we have to fight the ogres and then move in.
Yeah, ogres have to squeeze through the passageway. It's a 5-foot gap for you, so you have to go single file.
Let's cut one of them down and just keep moving, and I'll take up I'll be at the back to stop the next one from following us.
Could have shoved them out and they'll fall.
Can we?
Let's just go in and kill them. Let's
Yeah.
just start
Yeah.
doing that. Fine.
Plan A.
Hit him with an axe.
Diego.
I got my buddies next to me. Yeah, I'll go for the closest ogre to me.
So that would put you front rank.
You stood behind me and Darian.
So there's an ogre. So an ogre occupies 10 by 10, 10 by 10. So there's 20 across. So you could go all four. You could go front rank.
Oh, so we could. They're big buggers.
Yeah. See, my initial idea was like, as this corridor was getting smaller, if I match my running speed to the carpet, so I'd probably have to dash within the movement.
You can't get past them. So they're basically there, and you're trying. The corridor's behind them. So you can't move.
But there's no way we
through.
can shift the carpet on the wall, up the ceiling.
It's easy you just run up into them.
No. So if you imagine that the window that you can see here is the height of the entrance, they're kind of like there-ish.
Just jump out from behind one of us and go, wah!
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Okay. Cool. They're expecting you, unsurprisingly.
Make an attack roll.
They're wearing animal furs as their armor.
Tell me it's a 20, Diego. Tell me it's a 20.
It's a 28.
A natural 28. Okay, hits.
Nice. Oh, that's not so bad. 12. Oh god, yeah, actually, it's actually quite high. 6, 10, 13, 16, 22, 30, 36.
You
Piercing
smash.
damage.
Yeah, quick, like that. Right,
Yeah.
Ink. Diego is here. I hate Milady de Winter. She's really annoying me. Oh, for crying out loud, am I pissed off with her? And it just kind of like just goes on like that.
Yeah.
This ogre loses quite a lot of blood, and also slightly tired of your like dialogue, your monologue.
And then I stab him for a full stop.
Yeah.
Next action. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. Can't really disengage from it because I'm on a carpet.
I'm assuming you could jump off now if you wanted.
Well, I assumed you had to jump off.
Yeah,
to
I'm
get-
assuming you've jumped off the carpet.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll disengage.
You jump back on the carpet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to disengage from it, okay?
And he's still got movement, I guess. Yeah, he must.
Yeah. I'll keep following. Yeah.
Okay. So you disengage from it, and what do you do? Then move? Otherwise, you're still stood in front of it.
Yeah. I run. Skid under the legs of said ogre.
You can't do that.
Well,
No, you can't move through an
They're
opponent's
filling
space in that
entire
way.
space.
Yeah, they're
I think
filling
that's like a halfling thing. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is absolutely.
right.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
a halfling thing.
Not even a disadvantage.
No.
I could do some sort of
No,
thing to get past
great.
it. Okay.
You should let him try and just get squished.
the size differential between you and it isn't sufficient for you to do that, and also they're filling the whole of the space.
Yeah, you'd hit his penis on the way through. It's not.
Knocks you out.
Oh.
How did Diego die? Death by ogre dong. The worst type.
The ogre gong? That would have been better.
Take an inspiration, Dorian.
Well, if all four of us are basically in a row with these,
We're gonna be. That's the plan.
yeah, I'll disengage.
To move. Move
Yeah,
back.
I'll move back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you move back to the edge of the platform, which is about 10 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Ox.
I'll attack the other ogre
Yep. Okay.
with my flaming axe. 16.
Hits.
Ooh. Ooh, that's good. 12, 15. 22 damage.
Okay.
My second attack.
You smash into it. Kind of. It's like cutting through butter, really, because their armor is so poor.
Does 15 hit?
It does.
12, 17. 25 damage.
Yeah, it kind of keels over, but it's still kind of like there.
And I'm going to heft my axe to try and finish him my last hit. 29 to
Hits.
hit. 8, 10, 12, 20 damage.
It dies. It kind of like thuds off the platform and kind of hits the escarpment and kind of rolls down, face down into the lake below. Blood starts to spew out. Piranhas.
Oh, okay, there's madness.
Ah, look at Jagged and going now.
So that's
There's
dead.
vicious dolphins, isn't there?
Anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Make me a perception check.
7.
Right, okay, so the other ogre is going to have a go at probably Darian. I imagine it went Diego, Darian, Killeen, Ox.
Just get down the line.
That is 11 on the dice. Do you want to look at that?
No, my AC is 27.
Can you riposte, Darian?
I didn't even
can.
get a second attack, so I don't know why I
Which
rolled
is-
that.
Just one. Don't save
Okay.
it. Probably Killeen, right?
Okay.
He's gotta have gone
yeah, it's
faster than me.
Killeen next, and he
Is he
is going
faster than
to have a go.
I rolled
Can
3
he
on my
even
initiative.
get across?
Uh,
Killeen kind of like moves behind and around you and fills the space that Diego
was in.
Yes.
Fuck
Smashes.
off.
Hits for
Nice.
that much. 5, 8. Gives it a good resounding sword to the stomach. Hits with his second attack. 6. It's still there, but bleeding quite considerably.
Is
Darien.
the second attack because he's a dual wielder, or like?
No, he's decided he's going to just make 2 melee attacks because he can.
Okay.
Would he not get any kind of hit for moving away from things? He didn't disengage. He just
There was
thought
nothing for him
disengage.
to disengage from.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did he kill it?
Yeah, no, it's still there.
Okay, right. Then I will attack. 14 plus 8.
Hits.
No, I wish I could roll that die, but I can't. I grabbed Thogrik's D12. Does a lot of damage. So that's 9 normal damage plus my background radiation. That sounds weird.
So the temperature around Darien is never ever able to get down to Kelvin 0 because his background radiation keeps it just a fraction above absolute 0.
That's just 11. I'll just lump it all together because I doubt it makes any difference. 11 damage
does.
together. Cool.
Okay, everybody make perception checks.
Oh.
Perception checks.
12.
Oh, decent, Darian. Decent. Come on, you've got percept stuff. No, he doesn't. Flat 18.
Okay. Diego?
Rogue bullshit makes that a 15.
Okay. So you notice, Darien, that there are, as the passage narrows and extends for about another 20 feet, 10, 15 feet probably, and keeps itself narrow, there are definitely murder holes all the way down both sides of the passageway. And Diego, because you can see in the dark, you can see that there are other ogres ready and waiting for you in a larger kind of room that this opens out into.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll relay that information.
Yeah, I'll say arrow slits, shields up, men, and I'll go.
Okay, so let's keep the same initiative. So Diego, you're first.
Oh no, do I not get the rest of my movement? Because
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So you're
Look,
going
like-
where? So what are you doing, Darren?
You're
So you put your
running straight for
shoulder.
it.
Running through the murder zone.
Yeah, okay, nothing happens. You get so you're going to encounter essentially another 2 ogres that are waiting at the other side, and there are more ogres beyond those. They have readied actions, and they both clang against your shield. Yep.
Cool.
Okay, so Diego.
How far up are these murder holes?
About
Like-
waist height to a human.
Wait, so okay, I run up on the ceiling now.
Okay, cool.
Following-
Come up onto the ceiling. So you use your 30-foot movement, and you get all the way through that kind of narrow section and into a much wider hall. This looks like a guard station. It's got your classic guard station feel to it. There's a wide entrance right in the top corner, and there's a narrower kind of 5-foot entrance off in the top diagonal to you, and there are 2 you see very small entrances that kind of lead back on yourselves, which you imagine would lead to where the murder holes were. There's tables and other gear off in the corner, and there are 4 ogres, all of which are slightly surprised to see you on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh,
what a feeling.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's on the ceiling. The Commodores are actually playing out of the radio, and there's a slightly disconcerting wax head with a blind girl making it up in the centre of the room, which you're assuming is going to be the next lyric. So that's your movement.
All 60 feet. Can I get into combat with these?
Yeah, so you can drop down in front of them, you can drop down behind them,
Down.
on them, on one of them.
Yeah. Is the one Darian's the two that Darian's with?
I think I got blocked off in the hallway. Is that right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So they're at the end of the hallway, and you're still in that thin part of the corridor.
All right. I'll take the dodge action and make my way to. I don't know. Yeah, I'll take the dodge action.
Oh, so you're still on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. It's
Well,
about seems about
these
30
four
foot
ogres.
high. Maybe there are 4 ogres. Yeah, they can't reach you on the ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I move, they like to follow me.
I mean, it's a good
Check out these
distraction.
murder. Hey.
It's a good distraction, if nothing else.
Yeah. Can I distract as a?
I mean, you could dodge action and be like, wait!
Does that count as the aid action?
If there was someone else there, yes, it would. So if you're running this way, I guess I'll be aiding you.
No, it's not an aid action. You're just another combatant.
Right. Okay.
You have to
And
actively
yeah, I'll
do
use
something.
dodge
to
action to distract them for a while.
Yeah, okay. So Ox, you're next.
Is there room for me to run through and attack some next to Darian?
No, it's single file to you guys.
How big are the murder holes? Like that big?
No, they're kind of arrow / spear sized.
Do you want a request to move past me, and then I'll like shimmy?
I don't think they'll fit.
No, you can do that. You can do that. So essentially, it counts as difficult terrain, so it'll cost you 10-foot movement.
Okay,
You can move through the square of a willing ally.
All right, I'll do that then, and I'll try and.
It will provoke. As Darian leaves their threatened space.
That's fine. They can provoke attack me.
Okay, and then I'm going to try and shove him back, like ram in and push him back after.
Okay. Do you have any kind of like so they swing at Darian, but yeah, kind of nothing happens. So do you have any kind of ability that would allow you to push them? You could take the shove action.
Grapple, innit?
You can shove as many times as you can attack.
Yeah.
They will be brawny though. They'll be almost brawny. This could prove difficult.
Yeah.
Shove.
If you trip someone, can you step over them?
Depends upon the size. Okay, so they are no more than one size larger than you. So they're large, you're medium. They're within your reach. You can try to shove.
Yeah, I'll try to shove him back.
Contested strength. So it's your strength athletics check contested by their athletics or dex.
Oh, my athletics is
I
good.
imagine they'll pick athletics.
My athletics is good.
Okay, cool. So what, the left one or right one?
Left one.
Oh, interesting. You chose the pink dice. Okay.
Right, I'll roll. And 20 non-natural. 11 plus 9.
Yep, okay, yeah, you shove it 5 feet. So you push it back into the room.
You gonna step into that square?
Yeah. Well, I assume I went with it.
No, you still have to move.
Alright, and then
So you can either knock it prone or you can push it 5 feet from you.
I'll push it 5 feet from me.
Okay.
And then I'll move in. Can I now move into that square?
Yeah, you
Did
move
you say
forward.
you can? I can still get attacks as well.
Yeah, you can still attack.
You can make.
I get 3 attacks, and now do I have 2 attacks?
Yeah, because
Yeah, so this replaces one of your attacks.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. So I'll use my other 2 attacks then.
Yep. So you've got the ogre in front of you that you just shove back, and then an ogre at the side of you. That's now.
Yeah, I was expecting it was like in a
you.
triangle. Yeah, so I'm going to sweeping attack now,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I was hoping to do. Where's my superiority die? 23.
My superiority
Hits.
die.
And would that hit? Would that hit both? That would have hit both of them.
Yep.
They're both of the same armor class. So that's 10, 12, 20 damage, 24 damage to the first one.
Yeah.
And
You also hurt its feelings. It's never going to live down in ogre
getting
hell.
pushed by a smaller. I'm pretty big.
Yeah,
And then I think it does 4 damage to the.
Yeah, I didn't think that attack was that good. That's why I didn't take
Yeah,
it. With
it does 4 damage to the other one.
Okay, 4 damage to that one.
And
Okay.
I use my third attack.
Yep.
Swing back round. I'll just aim for the one I've hit the most already.
Yeah, okay, the one in front of you.
14.
His feelings. Hurt his feelings the most. 14 hits.
Jeez. 6, 10, 12, 20 again.
Okay. It's getting messed up. Getting proper messed up. Like. Okay. So the ogres.
Yeah, it'll be one of the ogres are killing.
So the ogres are going to have a go. So the 2 ogres that kind of like you're in combat with, Ox, they have a go at you.
I'm just gonna go up to the bathroom.
One hits AC 24.
That hits.
Okay. Smashes into you with its great club.
Ow.
With its lead mill, which is a great club. Does 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
The other one swings at you and kind of like you just bash it away with your weapon.
And I'll riposte him then.
Yep, okay.
25.
Hits.
Oh, that's good. 12, 15, 16, 24 damage.
Oh, that one goes down. Big style. Okay, so the less injured one that was to your side is there. The other 2 are kind of, one of them's trying to jump up at kind of like Diego, but not making it. And then the other one essentially takes its pace forward to where the dead one was, and has a go at you and smashes kind of his club into the wall, completely missing you. He's kind of like trying to dance around the cadaver of his shamed fellow. So Moshion, Killeen can't get to the combat, but he's got a heavy crossbow, so he pulls that out and loads it. Darian.
Right. I am going to. Obviously, I was out of the room for just a sec. The one beside Ox that he didn't push, that's still there, yeah?
There's only what? Yeah.
So essentially, the ogres are 1 down, but it's exactly the same as it was when it left.
I killed the one.
Because one stood in to replace it.
The one I shoved, I pushed, yeah.
Yeah.
I killed.
Yeah, so I'm going to be saving these smites now, so it's going to be very uninteresting damage if I hit, but let's see.
Ox is in front of you, so you can't get to one unless you've got a reach of 10.
But he stepped into the space of the other one.
Yeah,
So
but
surely
it's only a 5 foot gap. So Ox is taking so you've got a 5 foot corridor. Ox is at the top of it. I don't think you can hit that one because it would be too diagonal to you.
Is it like a?
Do they have reach?
I don't think they're doing 5th.
I'm giving them reach.
Sorry?
I'm giving them reach.
Right, so that's why they could both hit me, and I can't hit that.
Oh, they haven't hit you. They're only focused on Ox.
No, because they both hit me when I walked up in the hall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I would be reclaiming that space because Ox has now moved forward.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but they've got but I still can't hit them, right?
But you're reclaiming, yeah.
Yeah, I was
You're
reclaiming.
So
reclaiming your original space.
they've got reach. I've boosted ogres in a number of ways, and they do have reach.
Yeah. You can request to swap.
Don't think there's any spells that are that good. I'll just tell Ox to make some room. Do you know what I could do? It's further back though. Can I tell Killeen to wrap up the carpet and bring it? And I tell Ox to make some room.
Killian refuses to do that.
That's literally our escape route.
He refuses to do it.
This is the worst bodyguard ever. I hope he dies.
He dies. He dies.
Good. Good.
Ox is livid if we
My
lose this
life-
carpet, and I will blame Khalid.
Yeah, my life is it's made infinitely better by the absence of Killeen and his not taking of orders. Yeah, I say those things. I can't do anything until Ox, I guess, shoves one more time.
I'll
And
cut
then I
one
can-
more down, and then you can step over it.
Okay,
that-
top of the round, Diego.
I've got 4 ogres to bother with, haven't I?
You've got three ogres left.
3 ogres left.
Sneak attack one.
Yeah, let's drop on one.
Yep, okay.
Rapier first.
Yep.
So 15.
Yeah, that hits.
Yes. Sneak attack.
I'm just imagining Ox fighting, and suddenly the ogre in front of him, like a rapist, goes bursting out its mouth, and there's a Diego there on top of it.
Just steps into the space covered in ogre blood.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a lot of 2s.
How many d6 do you roll?
It's like 6 or something.
6d6. 1d8. So, 8, 12, 22, 28 piercing damage as I go straight down from the ceiling.
Yeah, you kind of land straight on it. You were aiming for its head, but you managed to move it, but you managed to go straight into its kind of like shoulder blade, have a good rummage around. It's still there.
Mm.
You kind of like pretty much landed on it, kind of like on its back a little bit. Your feet
Yeah.
just off the floor. It screams in agony.
I use my dagger to, as I'm pretty like almost hanging, or use the rapier to support myself on there, a bit like a joystick.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, make the roll.
And I start monologuing into this thing's shoulder.
Yeah, what are you monologuing?
Wait, he just whispered into its ear. I'm going to kill you.
I'm gonna kill the winter.
He's like, Mr. Winter!
I know.
Are you the winter polymorphed?
That's a 12.
Hits.
Oh,
Wow. I suppose they're not that dexterous looking, are they?
that's one piercing damage.
Full stop.
Yeah.
End of sentence.
Okay, anything else?
No, hang on.
You hang on. All right, you're not telling me to hang on. You are saying you hang on.
I'm
Okay.
hanging on.
Ox.
So is Diego on the one in front? I'm going to attack the one to the side of me that's kind of.
So
blocking
Diego's on
Darian's
the one
path.
that's behind. That's not in combat.
Okay. And so there's one taking the place in front of me again, and one to
there's
the
one
right
at the
of me.
side. Yeah.
I'll attack the one at the side first. That's blocking. That can attack Darian.
Yeah.
14.
Hits.
9, 16. 26 damage.
Okay. Yeah. You slice into it with your axe.
I'll attack it again. 17.
Hits.
To hit. 10, 17. 25 damage.
Oh, it's really, really close. It's kind of like it's holding in its innards, so it's trying to kind of like get its club up.
I'll just leave that one to die slowly. Or... No, I'll heft my axe and try and cut him in half lengthways. 13.
Yeah.
Look at it. God, I've got crap armor. Look at it, not very high. 1, 1, 2.
That's enough. I'll do it.
I'll do like 12 damage.
Yeah, you slice into it. It dies.
Yeah. And is there now any more space for me? Or does that create space for Darian to move in?
That creates space for Darren to be able to move diagonally.
Okay. So then I'll just heft my shield up a bit and face the other one, and that's my game.
Yep. Okay. So the ogre that Diego is attached to has a go at him, but is flailing rather ineffectively. The ogre in front of you, Ox, swings for a miss. Okay, Colleen will fire the heavy crossbow that he has loaded, which will hit, and it does that amount of damage to that one. So the one that you're on, Diego, gets a crossbow through the other shoulder. Quite a substantial kind of crossbow as well. Darian.
So can I move up and attack the one that's been hit by the crossbow?
You can move into the space, and then you can get across to it.
Okay, let's do that then.
It has Diego attached to it.
If you smite him, does Diego take radiant damage?
Clearly.
13 plus 8, so that's gonna. Ah, Christ. Low rolling damage. So that's 5 normal damage, and then the radiant on top of that's a 3. Jesus. 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 damage altogether on the first attack.
Jesus, radiant damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so there.
Okay.
Darian tickles it under the chin.
Another attack, so that's 19 plus 8. That's 8. Ooh, that's better. 15 altogether.
It dies. It goes down. Diego kind of like just slides down and lands on its back. Ta-da!
I'm going to use what remains. Do I have anything left of my
Do you have anything?
left of my movement?
Yeah, you've barely moved. You moved like 10 foot.
Cool. I'm going to make my way back and shout at Colleen and say, do you realise the danger you're putting by not taking the damn carpet? And I'm going to...
I know my duty. My duty is to stay with you in combat. Nothing that you can do or say will override that. You're failing as your duty. You have to understand that.
Hardly. You're risking all of our lives, and I'm going to walk past them anyway.
Tom will
Also,
see. Tom will
get a
see,
carpet.
Colleen says. There's still an ogre left, by the way.
Yeah, I'm still fighting.
I know.
Tom
that's fine.
sees all, he says. Okay, Diego.
So I landed. An ogre hand puts up a 10, and as it puts up that 10, a rapier comes through the card.
Okay, there's an ogre left.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have him.
Yeah, okay.
Have him for breakfast.
Oh, that was so nearly a natty 20, but that is a...
Yep, hits.
I know, I've got 2 19s today. I'm so disappointed when I was attacking.
I've got 2 19s as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing to complain
It's
about.
actually 2 years closer to 20. It rolled really slowly.
If we were champion fighters,
Yeah.
Yeah. So many 1s and 2s today. $23 piercing.
Okay, a rapier comes through its arm as it kind of comes there. Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay. Ox.
I'll attack the last one then.
Yep, okay.
25 to hit.
Hits.
4, 5, 8, 16 damage.
Okay. Yep, okay. It remains standing.
Second attack. 27. 6, 12. 22 damage.
Dies.
Yeah.
It collapses down in front of you. there were 6 ogres in that kind of forward station, and as the kind of battle rescinds, you're able to take an assess. It is dark here, so currently only Diego can see.
My
the light
axe
is
is
coming from that shed's 20-foot radius.
Thanks.
I think if it's like a torch, it's 20 bright, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see the edges. Diego, you can see that there's a wider corridor kind of immediately in front of you, which is about 10 foot wide. It's made of worked stone. There is a narrow gap which looks as if it kind of leads upwards off into the kind of top right corner, and these 2 very narrow gaps back to the murder holes. Amongst kind of general ogre stuff and filth and mess, you will see that there's some very high quality but kind of like
Very rough.
no very high quality but disused mining gear, like block and tackle, and you open up a few bags and such like. In there bears a dwarvish symbol. You don't recognise the symbol, but the style is very obvious and very evident. Okay, it's 11:10, so I'm finishing the session there. I'll leave you in that guard station. Okay.
Sorry, just before we close it, what is the structure made out of again?
It's down. It's all worked down. You've gone into the fell side.
It'd be useful to come back for these equipment if you ever want to get a mining business going. Then the gems.
Yeah.
Just to mine the gems.
Yep. Okay. So, important that you keep track of resources used, because you'll be in situ when we start again.
Day 15.
Which would,
I've been mine.
Yeah. 15, 26.
Oh, I didn't.
I've been crossing off my arrows. I've not used any potions. Seeing I got that grapple hook back. Oh, that's.
No, you probably lost your grapple hook. Right?
Yeah.
Would have fallen off with a saddle.
No, you managed to retrieve it on a roll of 1 on a D100. Okay. Right then, so 1st of March would be the next session. Friday the 1st of March.
Oh, let me boot up my phone. It's probably okay, because it's next Friday.
Yeah.
I'm away on a training day.
Yeah, the one after that, though, the 15th, I won't be able to do. I'm at Cornwall.
Okay. So I'll have to dig out all of my calendars. Oh, okay, we'll sort out that.
Yeah,
fine.
Also, Killian, Torm doesn't see all. No deity sees all.
I'm just interested in talking to you. And it moves on. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoyed that. I hope our viewers enjoyed that. If you want some more Dungeons and Dragons, then we're playing Waterdeep on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What day is it now? The 15th? Tuesday the 19th.
Yeah, 19th.
19th at around about the same time, 8:30.
Where are we up to on that?
You are plotting to attack the Growlhund Villa.
That was it. Yeah, that was going to be good.
So you're thinking about a heist there.
That's going to be good. That's going to be.
Yeah.
I should probably say in advance to you. I think we've got an idea. We kind of discussed it at the end of last time.
Me or Paul?
Paul. Because I think the idea was to move in while they're being hosted at Aldred's, just so that they'd have maybe a slightly easier time getting into their valuables.
Move into what while who's been hosted at Aldred?
Moved into the Growlhounds while the
Growlhounds have been hosted at Aldred's.
Oh, right, okay. So you're going to invite the Growlhounds over, and then you're going to kind of...
they're already invited.
While they're around.
But
Right, okay. Whilst they're out. Yeah, okay, cool.
so obviously Aldred won't be part of the party.
So you're going to pretend you're not complicit in it.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
totally
so what are you going to do whilst everybody is off in the heist? Just what?
host them.
Just what?
Oh, okay.
I want to kind of like slip in maybe a bit of interrogation.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Try to work it into the conversation. Yeah, that could...
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Right, okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Anybody got anything to say?
Thanks for joining. If we have viewers.
I had one viewer consistently through, and like maybe another one that's popped in. But there we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Cheers.